What's up, world? This is Real Talk about real business, a podcast featuring a different guest each episode. Join me as we are given the opportunity to hear their story, the battles they face, the obstacles they've overcome, the losses they've incurred, the lessons they've learned, the memories they've made, the lives they've touched, the wins they've had, the opportunities yet to present themselves. Who am I? My name is Mason, and for the past decade, I've been grinding and hustling on a level you would understand. I've sold everything, from candy bars to big screens. I own the #1 electronics store in Las Vegas called Best Deal in Town. It's been my primary focus and my pride and joy for the last 6 years. It's given me opportunities I never would have thought it possible. It's introduced me to people I never thought I would know. I don't have all the answers. In fact, I have very, very few. But what I do have are a ton of questions. And that's my story. Join me as we talk with real people who have really done it, with real hardships and real success. Despite all the odds, despite all the naysayers, all the constant negativity, and the ever-mounting uncertainty that we are faced with every single day. This is their story on Real Talk. Yo, world!
What's up?
What is up? It is Mason with Business Breakdown. We got another episode of Real Talk about real business. We got a real special guest today. This guy may not look real businessy right now, but he knows a whole lot about business, I can tell you that. This guy, today I think is really going to be a reflection of like why relationships are important. It's just a weird story, even how we're sitting here.
Yeah.
So our guest today is my good friend Ryan. We'll talk about how we met, but Ryan, let's get into it, just how we met actually, because that'll give a little context to everything.
We go way back.
Yes. So I mean,
4, 5?
4 or 5 years. Yeah. So Ryan was a sales rep for a 90-day like no credit needed kind of payment plan that we use at my electronics store, Best Deal in Town. And we've been in business at that point 5 or 6 years, and we were real anti any sort of like quote unquote financing or payment programs. And here comes Ryan, like doop, like let me sell you on this.
Let's get it going.
Yeah. So I mean that's kind of when we met, right?
Yeah. Progressive. If we can say that, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Just doing business. Trying to get you guys going on the no credit needed. Trying to drive some more sales into the store.
I think the thing that initially drew me, at least to you, because I mean I've been pitched a million times about how to, like for financing programs or just solicited in general, but like you have like a really natural conversational kind of demeanor about you. Like,
well, yeah, I mean that's part of like in business or in relationships. I'm more looking at relationships than just trying to sell you something, right? I'm trying to get to know you, what you need, what you like. I mean, I know things that you like, you know things that I like.
Yeah.
I look at you as a friend, not as just like, hey, let me sell this guy.
Yeah, I've gotten text messages on random dates and times from you, and just like little inside jokes and stuff about like things that you know that I'm into, or whatever. And it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah. No, sitting in a room full of people, and I'm like, oh, where'd you get your TV? Best Deal in Town. How about you? Everybody. I'm like, oh, let me tell Mason he's doing a good job.
I mean, literally before you came over here today, you were like trying to sell a TV for me, like.
Yeah, I'm like, why'd you buy this TV from Walmart? Go see Mason. What's wrong with you?
At first, and then you sent me a picture, and I was like, I can't believe you bought a TV.
Oh, hell no.
And I was like, you know better. And then he was like, my friend or whatever is looking for a TV. And I was like, okay.
No. Yeah. You know I'm calling you first if I need a TV,
absolutely,
computer,
right.
trading cards, like whatever it is.
So we talk about like that natural demeanor you have of like, and like how important that is, especially like anybody's in sales in general, just business in general. I feel like you can come off real scammy, real
used car salesman.
Yeah, selling that snake oil kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, what did you do before that? Like, kind of predecessed that. Like, did anything build that into you, or is that something have you always been a good talker?
Yeah, you could ask my teachers in school; they probably would say that. No, I just I'm like this show. I like to be a real person. I'm not just trying to get over on people. I'm there to help people. Maybe one part of that I went on a church mission 2 years in Guatemala. That's where I learned Spanish.
My best friend's Guatemalan.
Yeah, I saw that on the first one.
Yeah, that guy in that picture you asked me about. Yeah. So you
He's a chapin. 100%.
He was the guy who was on the first episode.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Hey,
I heard you say he's from Guatemala. I was like, okay.
Guillermo, you're what is it? A chapin?
Yeah. Chapin.
¿Cómo se dice chapin in inglés?
Chapin.
Oh, chapin. So did you know Spanish before you went to Guatemala?
No, not really. I learned some stuff. I took 1 year in Spanish in high school, and the teacher quit after that year. She didn't do well with us.
Oh.
Yeah, we terrorized her. But no, I didn't really know any Spanish. Like, I learned some stuff, and then you get down there and they start speaking, and you're like, wait a minute, like this isn't what they taught me.
Isn't it crazy though how fast you pick it up?
Oh yeah,
because like I learned pretty decently. I worked in a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
And literally, I was the only white person that worked there.
Are you white?
The definition. And like there was like 3 or 4 guys who spoke English, and they could all kind of. I mean, they waited tables.
Yeah.
But even like the manager couldn't spell in English and stuff. I would have to proofread stuff. But so if I wanted to get stuff done there, I had to learn how to speak Spanish, or like stuff in the kitchen. Like these guys are like yelling in Spanish stuff. I had like the first 2 weeks, I was like, I'm done. Before you knew it, like I caught a couple things, I picked up. Next thing you know, like, and then it became like a joke because I'd get in there and people would be like they'd be like almost making fun of me. They're like, look at this gringo over here trying to speak.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, give me dose. I don't know what to say anymore.
No, yeah, I was down there and like learning, and one day I was talking. I'm speaking to the people, and I just stopped. And I was like, whoa, I'm speaking Spanish. Like it just like one day, I was just like I was doing it. And I was like, wow. And even sometimes now, like, I'll be speaking to someone and a word will just come out. Like, I'm like, oh, wait, whoops, that's the wrong language. You're like, gotta switch it up.
So do you practice your Spanish pretty regularly, or like
just with, not that I practice it like I'm sitting there, but like just in Vegas, there's anywhere you go, someone speaks Spanish, right?
Yeah.
So I just use it. A lot of guys that work for me, like most guys that work for me, speak Spanish. So you get to use it pretty regularly.
Oh, so speaking of guys that are working for you, so that's a good little transition here.
There you go, yeah.
Perfect segue here. It's like I've done this before. So what are you doing right now? And because you're not with Progressive anymore,
right. So I got Corona.
So here, can we run through that real quick? Just
yeah, for sure.
Because I kind of remember. So kind of tell me what happened from your angle, because.
Well, it's funny. What got me into Progressive in the first place was the construction industry overall at the time was just not good in Vegas. It was real slow. So I was looking for something else, and so had an opportunity to go there. I'm actually graduated from college with an accounting degree.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and then I got done with college, and I was like, I don't really want to be an accountant.
How? That's so common.
Yeah.
Do you know how many friends I have who went to college for whatever and they're realtors?
Well, I started thinking about it. I'm like, have I ever spoke to an accountant just like, I love my job? No. They're like, dude, accounting sucks. I'm like, well, why do you do it?
It pays the bills.
Yeah. Like you're a CPA and you got like a Porsche in the garage, but you like hate your life. Like,
what's the point?
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, well, there's always law school on the table. So got into law school.
Oh, I didn't know this. Okay.
Yeah. But life happens, and decided to forego law school.
Ooh, which law school did you get into?
UNLV. Yeah.
Hey, any law school is a good law school to get into.
Any law school.
It's better than the law school that I got into. That's for dang sure.
Well, like you said, I got friends that went to law school and they're realtors or CFOs. Or,
sure.
They're not lawyers.
Right.
So, but so got in with Progressive, and it was great. Had a good time. Learned a lot. Met a lot of great people, interesting people. Realized that you don't have to be super smart to run a business or own a business. Not referring to you.
No.
You know, at all.
1,000% I agree. Because you don't believe me. You just have to show up.
I met some people, and I'm just like, I would have a conversation, I would explain things to them, and then they would speak, and you'd be like, you own the business? Like, wait, you run this place? Like,
we could do an entire podcast on this.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
So anyway, so going good with Progressive, growing the business here in Vegas. They didn't have anybody in Vegas, so like double, tripled the amount of sales coming through Vegas while I was here. And then Corona hit. So we got quarantined. We were working from the house.
And I remember getting calls from Progressive, from like even your boss, and they were like, just don't worry, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like from the top, don't worry. I remember at one point,
we were negotiating a new contract at the time.
Mind you, we're in the middle of a 6-figure contract negotiation between your company and my company.
Yes.
And I mean, like things, like I remember like the second, like I got like a verbal, we're good. I got on the phone and I called my business partner. I was like, dude, closed it. And like triple what you thought I was going to close.
Yeah.
What? And then...
The Corona. You got Corona too, didn't you?
I got Corona too. So,
yeah. So we were at a house for a while, working out of the house, and I'm just like, I don't know how long it's going to last. So rumors started flying, they're going to start letting people go and whatever. So then I got a email saying there was a conference call. And so I just read it quick. I thought it was like a team conference call. So I was a little late to the call, so then I get a phone call, and they're like, yeah, is this Ryan? I'm like, yeah, and it was like our vice president. And I'm like...
That's...
Well, and then at the time, the president of the company, his name was Ryan as well. So I'm like, are you looking for Ryan like me? He's like, yeah. And it was just him, an HR guy, and me. And I was like, oh. I'm like, here it comes.
Did you know the HR guy, or did he like announce his position?
No, he announced it.
And you were like...
I'm like, wait, just me and him and nobody else? I'm like, okay, I know what's going on. So I'm just like, what? I was like, all right. But
because you had done nothing wrong, like
right.
I mean,
right.
And you know in your heart of hearts, you're like I'm a good employee.
Well, and like my team manager, Joey.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, no, like you're good. He's like, you're good.
Shout out Joey.
Gotta get him out here.
He's the good. Oh yeah, I would love to get Joey.
Yeah,
Joey, come on. Hey, we could use a representative from there. You come on here and we could talk.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway,
his invite.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, they let me go. I got some severance, but it was kind of a blessing because I've been thinking about leaving. I was kind of just like...
And we had talked about you've kind of found a new thing.
Yeah, some other opportunities that I was looking at. And I was always on like... Even though I was with Progressive, I always had my side hustles and always working other angles. And so I was like, I'm thinking I'm going to go. Well, they paid me to go. So I was like, it worked out.
Yeah.
And then what's funny enough is Joey talked to me a few months ago. He's like, hey, would you consider coming back? And, I thought about it for a while. I'm like, man. But then I'm just like, you know what?
No, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to go here, and Progressive's going to take me here.
It's so hard to get out. And once you do, you're like, I can see it. Like,
yeah.
There's some weird handcuffs that are there.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes I think in life, you take the safe route.
Which sometimes you got to. It's
yeah,
a smart route,
and it's okay.
Right, yeah.
But I feel like sometimes, like, if you could just get out of your own way and take that risk, you feel better. Like when I got let go of Progressive, even though I wanted to kind of leave, I felt terrible.
Right, because you're a responsible person too. You didn't have anything else directly lined up.
Right. No, I wasn't like, but once it was a few days after, and the emotions calmed down, I was like, I felt better,
that clarity,
and I'm like, man, now I can go after it. And I feel like in life, when you have to really struggle, it's when you get that growth.
Yeah, I mean, and I think 1,000. If you ask any like entrepreneur or just anybody who's been in like a terrible situation like that, and they always say like, well, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without that, because like I had to overcome that. Like you could take it on the highest scale. Like Elon Musk talks about how he almost ran out of money, and was sleeping on the floors or whatever. But and then you can take it all the way down to Ryan, who was like, I didn't know what to do for a few days, and like luckily I'm a responsible adult and I'm okay for like my life's not going to fall apart in 10 days, and you get some clarity, and you're like, this is a good thing.
And it's kind of exciting, at the same time. It's like, okay, well, let's go. Let's make some other stuff happen.
Well, the scary part's over, right?
Yeah. Well, nothing you could do at that point.
Well, and like, do you feel like in the like after the fact too, like this isn't that big of a deal?
Right. Yeah.
In the moment you're getting blasted with it, you're like, my job,
yeah,
it's over. Like, and then you go say hi to someone on the street and like, hi, and you're like, you don't know that it's over? Oh wait, that's just like a personal battle that I have.
Well, I think when you're younger, too, it was scary. Like, I don't have a job. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, it's like, if I don't have a job, I'm okay, because I know I have skills. I have other things that I'm going to fill in, and I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
You know?
That's one thing that I've always said is like, I've had people ask me like, well, what would you do? Or like, if you didn't have this or have that. And I was like, I find something. I know I have a skill set.
Dude, what, you go to Ross and flip shoes. I mean, you know?
Yo, if you guys want to flip some sneakers, go to Ross. It was like an old thing people used to do, and I don't think anyone's doing it anymore.
So do you know like when their new shipments come in? So you were first in line?
No. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I wasn't that good. But I would.
I mean, if you need a size like 18 cleat, they're always.
Oh, for sure. That's what I sold most of the stuff because, like, my brother. This is kind of where I got the idea. My brother, my stepbrother, has huge feet. He's got like size 15 feet or something. Oh. When he goes to the store, and they know this, like with people with big feet, he just walks up and goes, "Hey, I wear a size 15. Can you take me in the back?" Like, and that's what people with big feet do. Is
see what they have.
Yeah, they take you back there and see what they have in a 15. Oh, wow. So that's when I started buying them. That was one of my big sellers because he would have to buy shoes like very selectively, and I was like, well, I mean, if you need a size 17 cleat that's yellow and red, I'm your guy.
Yeah, I got them.
Yeah. So you got a skill set, so you're not worried about that.
Right. And shout out to trades. They don't get enough respect, but like if you have a trade and you have a skill, you're going to work forever. I mean, you whether it's a bathroom remodel or, whatever the case may be, people are always going to need skilled workers.
There's like 100% like sorry, I keep messing with my mic if that's what you guys hear me changing. But there's definitely like a certain like resurgence, I think, of the trades coming back. Like I think a lot of people are realizing like I don't want to say that college isn't for everyone because that's not really the case, but like a lot of the applications of college we're not applying. Like we talk about so many people going to school to be doctors and lawyers that end up like being like, that's not what I want. Like,
right.
I took 13, 14 years of history total. I did not take one class on like personal finance.
Well, they still don't teach anybody that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Which is crazy.
It's insane.
Here's the pi algorithm, the thing.
The pi leaf stem graph bar chart.
That you're like, when you're a kid, and my kids say it now, like, I'm never going to use this. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But you need it to graduate. So.
I remember when my teachers used to, like my math teacher especially, would say, you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket, like walk with your whole life kind of thing. And it was like, and I remember one time a kid stood up in class and was like, yeah, huh? And it was right after the first iPhone came out. I mean, he was like a legend in school because he was the only guy. He was the only guy that had it, right?
What is that?
Yeah. And, so he had that and he showed it to her and she was like, well, those things aren't going to be around forever. Those things are break, and it was, no one knew what a cell phone on the internet really even was. Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, it's, when you have that ability, it can't be taken from you.
So what would you say, I mean, you have a heavy trade background. What's your main trade background?
My main would be concrete. I started off when I was young working on high rises. That's where I came up at.
And you're born and raised in Vegas?
Yeah, raised.
Raised, okay.
I was, created and raised in Vegas.
Okay.
My dad was in the military, so we had moved out of state.
Okay.
Was born and then came back. So,
for all intents and purposes of this conversation, you're born and raised Vegas local.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. One of the few.
So that's yes. So concrete. So how'd you get into concrete?
Yeah. So my dad worked concrete and built the strip, built downtown. And so when I was about 17. He's like, hey, do you want to go to work? I was like, yeah. So we went down. You had to be 18 to join up. Luckily, my uncle was running the union, and my dad's like, yeah, he's 18. And so
I've definitely heard of that before.
Oh, yeah. So like senior year of high school, I'd go to like 3 classes, and I'd get out. I'd go work. At the time, it was New York.
Ooh.
They were pouring the parking garage, so I would cut the lines with the saw at night, and I was making bank as a 17-year-old kid, making about $500-600 a week,
which is next level. If you're,
do you have a button? No.
Yeah, I have a button. I'm messing with my settings right now. That's why I keep.
I was waiting for the next level.
if you can watch me right now,
eventually you're gonna have a producer to hit the buttons for you.
Oh, yeah. If anybody is looking to be a producer, I need a producer. So if anybody's trying to be a producer,
dude, it looks like that. What was that game that Just Dance or whatever with all the
DDR, Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, that's what he looks like over there. You got to hit the buttons.
I may or may not be slightly skilled in Dance Dance Revolution. We don't need to talk about that.
That'll be another podcast.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. So I got going on that, and then went to college and still dabbled in it when I went to college before I eventually became, because I'm not shy, I guess. Guys, it was funny because guys that I worked with a lot older than me would always come to me and ask me, after I'd been in for a while, like, what about this, what about this? I'm like, why are you asking me? Like,
for the union, for union stuff?
Yeah. For we're working on jobs. And so eventually I became, I'd run a crew and then just slowly moved up to where finally I just said.
A natural leader.
Yeah, natural.
But
only child, I think, is what it is. Like,
but people gravitate towards that. Like I'm just like a person in a situation. I won't sit there and let people just like meander. If I'm a part of it, I'm like, all right, guys, we got to figure this out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be a part of this. Like,
when I watch those movies and like people get stuck somewhere, I'm like, I would be the guy, like, all right, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
And I can't help it. Like, it's just who I am.
Yeah, and I'd be the guy who led the expedition the other way. Like we'd split parties.
Like, yeah, we're not going with you. You're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it's not a bad thing. And like you said, some people, they want someone to follow. Some people are good with that.
Yeah. They need it.
Yeah. They're not that person that, I have some of my kids that are just, they would rather just jump in the crowd and go with what they're told to do.
But I mean, for like real talk, like too many chefs in the kitchen, too many cheese, not enough Indians, like you can only have so many Bill Gates, so many Steve Jobs, so many business owners, so many entrepreneurs. At a certain point, like, you need really awesome people underneath you.
Well, if you don't have an awesome team, then what good are you by yourself?
Yeah, well, you're terrible because you didn't do a good job putting together a team. There's tons of awesome people. Like, I hate when people are like, there's no good people out there. I'm like, no,
you just got to find them.
Yes, and they're hard to find because no one else wants to give them up.
Well, and one thing I found too is, like, I could find tons of guys, but finding a good guy, you got to take care of them too. You can't expect to,
Yeah, they know what they're worth.
Exactly.
Like, you know what you're worth.
Yep. Yeah. So that's why you got a great team down at Best Deal in Town, because then you could doing a podcast and you're still selling TVs.
Absolutely. I have the best team. We had a sales meeting this morning, and like, I'm just like blown away. I was just like, I guess I'm just gonna sit here and tell you guys good things the whole time.
Yeah, you got to find something to get mad at. Charge them.
I'm trying. All right, so you always been into concrete, and but
then it's just branched out. That's led me to other things, coatings, a lot of different types of jobs with. It's a big industry now with the coatings over concrete.
Coatings, yeah, just redoing everything.
Yeah. There's a lot of and especially when the recession hit back in the day. A lot of people went to, like, on the casinos and stuff like that. It went more to remodels. There wasn't a lot of new construction. We had a little bit of that recently, but I see it kind of going the same way again since COVID hit. It's slowed down a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I was down there actually last night, and it's a ghost town.
It's weird. Yeah, it's really weird.
And I've seen stuff on the weekends. I've seen pictures where I'm like, that doesn't look so ghost towny. But like, when I was down there, I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, my parents are in town. And they called me and they're like, hey, is there a bar in town that we can go to that's open? I was like, what?
I think they're all open.
Yeah, I was like, what? And they're like, we've gone to like 10 places down here, like on the strip, and they're closed.
Wow.
I was like, well, normally I would say just throw a rock. You'll hit a bar.
Every 2 steps you find one. You got to take them to your local pub.
I've taken them there before. They're not fans.
They want the glitz and the glamour.
Yeah, they do.
You're like, Dad, I'll take you to a show.
Let me one of those special shows. Leave mom there.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
So what are you doing now, and how did that kind of, all this concrete background kind of take you to your new endeavor? Because things got shooken up at Progress. Let's recap here. Graduated college, didn't do anything with accounting, didn't go to law school. Decided that concrete was the way to go, or the trades were the way to go, kind of.
Well, at the time when your entry-level accountant job, 30, $35,000 maybe. I don't know, 40 if you're lucky. I was making triple that, so it's like
Yeah.
had 3 kids, a couple cars, a mortgage. I was like, I'm gonna have to stay with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is short sighted. You know, maybe 20 years after you're making a lot more, but it wasn't for me. I'm like today. I mean, this is kind of maybe it's corny, but I was like working, helping out, and like there's these hummingbirds everywhere, and this one just lands like right in front of my face, and it's this purple, pretty hummingbird. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I'm glad I don't work in a cubicle. I'm not stuck in an office all day.
That's actually really cool.
You know, so I mean, and some people don't like it. I'm more hands-on. I like working with my hands. So, you know, just different people doing different jobs. Like, I met some. I did a lot of work for a realtor in town, and she was asking me about a handyman. Like, hey, do you know any handyman? We need a good handyman. I'm like, well, what do you got to do? And so she told me. I'm like, well, I could do all that stuff.
Like what you think like handyman? What's that like? That's just like your normal day.
Yeah, like I'm like what? Like I could do all that
stuff you don't even think twice of.
Yeah.
Like most people are like even just
I'm like you're gonna pay me to do this? Really?
To
like doesn't everybody do
hang
this?
a picture, install a lock,
like wait, like that light bulb? Really? You're gonna pay me to change that light bulb? Okay, you know.
Yeah.
And so she started shooting me some jobs, and I got a little thing going, and you know I like it. It's cool. You know, it's not everybody. How many homes are in Vegas, you know? And
yeah, and all like the explosion of it all too.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so like people just they're a lot of renters and they need stuff fixed, or if they're about to rent, go in the house and take care of whatever the last renters broke, and it's cool.
And it's not hard. You're not doing structural work or anything.
No, you know, I've gotten zapped a couple times changing out some electrical stuff, but you know,
that's called learning.
Yes,
you know, you only got to learn it. You only got to get electrocuted a few times to learn.
And I'm like, where's that off button?
Yeah, start flipping breakers. Like, oh, that's why people are so anal about.
We're just gonna turn them all off.
Yeah. Ma'am, you don't need power to your house, do you? so doing the handyman thing, and then has that evolved into anything else, or
the handyman thing's kind of still new, fresh. I'm still kind of filling that out. I would like to grow it, actually, you know, build a good team, because I feel like, you know, I'd rather have 10 guys' efforts than just mine. And so that's the next step. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. You got to have guys. I had a guy go one time for me, do a job because I couldn't get to it, and it ended up with a flooded upstairs. And so that was a little.
And that was like that was your first time.
That was the first time sending somebody out. So you know, I got a panic phone call. Yeah, it was just learned some lessons there.
Can we get like a quick, just like 2-minute story about this real quick? Because this is good.
All right. Well, we had a house where it was leaking the what they call the valve behind the toilet. Right.
Okay. All right.
So it was leaking. But for some reason, they thought that the house didn't have. It was in a community that they didn't think there was a main shut off to the house. You had to shut off the water to the whole community, and that only happened at certain times. So this day, I got a call like, "Hey, they're going to shut the water off between 9 and 12 on Wednesday."
Okay.
I'm like, "I can't make it." Like, well, let me see. I got a guy. I think he could do it. So I call my buddy. I'm like, "Hey, you said you want to help out. Can you handle this?"
Here's your time to shine.
I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh yeah, that's easy." I'm like, "Yeah, you just got to go in there, switch this valve out, done deal." So he goes and he switches the valve. Well, you can't turn the water on to test it because they turn the water on. The homeowner's leaving for work, so he couldn't stay. So homeowner leaves. He goes home. They turn the water on. Nobody's home. Luckily, it wasn't a full-blown, but it was leaking enough to where...
Dude, water is...
It was coming through the ceiling. Terrible. It was coming through the ceiling. And so I got a few calls, but... You know, they luckily it worked itself out. We got it fixed. But long story back around, another friend who was an actual plumber went over and he found the shutoff valve to the house that for years people said didn't exist. It was just back behind and underneath something.
Just you needed an expert, huh?
Yeah, you gotta hire experts.
Dang.
So that was fun.
So, are you doing anything else with concrete right now, or?
Well, I've been trying to, like I said, the coatings has kind of been big. We did a lot of, there's some new rubber coatings out. Did a lot of pools.
I've seen that.
It's nice.
And you've done a bunch of work with that stuff, right?
Yeah, we did through some other companies. I mean, I oversaw the work, but we did most of Caesar's properties, their pool decks.
And you guys, like, you can even do like custom inlays on that, right?
Yeah, custom inlays, logos, designs. It's pretty cool stuff.
What's like the coolest one you've done?
I like the one that I liked the most was I did the pink flamingo at the flamingo pool deck. There's a big pink flamingo in the middle of the deck.
Did you actually do it, or like you like hand cut it out?
Yeah.
Out?
So like basically, we lay the rubber, the whole solid floor, and then you come
and
back.
then this is like that thick rubberized kind of Jimmy, like pool deck kind of.
Yeah, it's got a little give to it, but it's not like a playground. It's
Right.
not like that quite. It's the same material, but it's not squishy. But there's a little give to it.
But think about like high end walking around at a Vegas casino outside pool.
Yeah,
feel.
that's
okay.
exactly what it is. You basically get a big printout of whatever you're going to put on there, and you cut it out, carve out the old rubber, and you inlay the new colors, and it looks awesome. I'll give you a time lapse. We can we can feed that in.
Yeah, insert time lapse here.
Yeah.
So you cut the picture out like you
so you get a printout like say like your logo best deal
right.
Like in your entry we're going to put rubber and we put it all black, let's say. Then you get the logo, we carve it out with a knife after it dries, peel that out, and then you inlay white.
Like is this? I mean, like, do you have to be like artistic to do this? Like, is this something you can do, or any guy, or
I'm not going to say any guy can do it.
Sure.
I've seen some guys, epoxy garage floors, and
that's a shot at me. I should have called Ryan, and I didn't. He even told me to call him, and I didn't. And I did.
I couldn't give it away.
I know. Well, I tried doing it myself. I tried, and it
looks.
Insert picture here. Look.
Well, look for. There you go. Hey, you got that one.
There you go.
I think you would love a rubber surfacing for your workout floor. You would love it. When your weights are banging, maybe you like that banging sound, but it'd be soft.
My neighbors would probably like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your concrete would like it too because it's not getting beat to death.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to...
I did see some rubber mats out there.
Yeah.
Just imagine the whole floor with a nice logo that says The Slab.
We could do that.
We could do it.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Homie hookup.
We're going to definitely.
I'll trade you for a TV.
I think I'm already in debt for one TV, so I owe you.
Well,
Did you forget about that?
No. I just let the interest run. Ryan was gonna come fix this floor that I messed up, like a portion of it, and I was like, "Hey, I'll trade you a TV." He needed a TV, and I was like, "Can I trade you a TV and you come fix my floor?" And that was like 9 months ago.
That was
and he's actually hit me up like every month. He's like, "Do you want me to come over and fix this?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm busy." But little does he know, like that's my trick.
Yeah, it's like I got a 50-inch and I'm gonna pay for a 80, so it's all good.
86, but
86. Oh, that's a new one.
It'll be 100 by next month.
There we go. I'm waiting for that.
So
yeah, the rubber is amazing. I love it. I've been able to salvage some people's pool decks that they thought they were gonna have to hammer out all their concrete. Went right over all the flaws, fixed them. And then the coatings, the epoxies is really blowing up too. I just did a whole house metallic epoxy. Turned out gorgeous. People love it.
I tried to do it.
Yeah. Insert here pictures. Anyway, it's nice, and I'm actually getting ready to do another basement floor with some epoxies, some metallic epoxies, and.
So is this something? This is like a full-fledged business that you're doing now, or?
Yeah, with my company, it's this. Ryno Pro Surfaces.
Ryno Pro Surfaces.
Yeah, so if it's whether it's concrete surface, epoxy surface, rubber surface, we do surfacing.
I imagine if you can't do the surface, you probably know a guy who can do the surface.
I usually know a guy. Yeah.
Ryan the Ryno. Does that have anything to do with it, or did it just kind of work out that way?
No, that's what it is. And I like the Ryno though, because
like Ryno tough, Ryno liner.
They're tough. They're majestic. They got a big horn.
Yeah, people are after that horn, man.
Bro, I'm telling you.
So you're contracting your services out. You're handymaning it up side job. You're got a full-fledged servicing company.
Division company. Yeah.
Conglomerate.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm always open to opportunities.
It's just crazy how you went from this like in a 3-day span of lost my job to all right, it hasn't been that long.
No.
And you seem just so calm and cool and collected. You're like, this is awesome.
Well, that's why I really thought of everybody on our team to get let go, like I was, even though like I probably wasn't the low man on the totem pole,
Sure.
or like I'm sure I was better than other people, but like I know a few people on the team, if they would have lost that job, they would be in trouble.
Right.
And luckily, I was in a position where I'm like, okay, all right, on to the next endeavor. You know, like they said, if Best Deals shut down tomorrow, you're not going to be here crying.
Right. Was there any like particular thing that like kind of like kicked you in the butt? And you were like a thought or like I'll give you one for me. For instance, like sometimes when like everything's just going wrong, I'm just like whatever it is. I'm like, this guy called off. There's a broken TV. I got like a million things to do. This that. Like I'm just like, I always tell myself like, I gotta stop feeling sorry for myself. I'm like that. My thing is like always like people have it way worse. And like
Oh yeah.
And like I just know people who I'm like, at the end of the day, like tonight, guess what? I'm gonna go to bed and everything will be fine. I'll wake up like I'm healthy. My bills are paid. Like I'm fine. Like this isn't a big deal.
Oh, I have those thoughts. Yeah, I'm the
like,
same way.
Like I just tell myself, don't feel sorry. Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
At the end of the day, we live in America, and we have opportunities. Whether you lose your job or not, there's more opportunities. And like you said, we got a home, we got food, we got family, friends. You know, it's just a job, and there's more jobs.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people get a little too attached to that, and it's like the only
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, but it's scary. I understand that. You know, I have down days too. Like you said, when stuff's going on, you get a little stressed. And I'm just like,
It's so much nicer just having that steady. Just
that's true too. Sometimes when you just have like, I get my check, I go home, and I'm off. You know, but like you and me, are you ever off?
no. I don't want to be.
No.
Like
Yeah. Because if I'm off, then I feel like I'm losing out on
no,
some opportunity.
Yeah. No. I'm never like just watching Netflix. Right, I am Netflixing.
My phone's on.
Netflixing with
Laptop's open.
with my laptop going and a text message going, and like I'm not like, what are you doing this weekend? It's more like, all right, so like, how many TVs you want? 10 or 12? Like,
well, and I'm sure like you have things like your CrossFit. Like that's probably the biggest time you get away, right? Just for a little bit, forget about it.
There's like 2 hours a day. Like if you want to get a hold of me, like good luck.
Yeah, because that's your time.
Yeah,
you need that because I think about it a lot. Running so many opportunities, businesses, whatever, I feel like sometimes you get out of whack, and the balance is off. So it's like I was thinking about it today. I was like, I've been running pretty hard with work, and like I'm out of balance. Like I could say I'm a workaholic. Like a lot of people that know me, but I don't know if they would call it that. But like if I step back, I go, I'm kind of a workaholic. Like I'll work all the time.
A workaholic is someone who like literally has to step back and say that. Like someone who works a lot because they have to is not a workaholic. You're a workaholic because like you want to.
Yeah, like if I'm sitting at home doing nothing, I'm like,
you don't even notice you're working probably. Like you're probably you're walking around your house looking for stuff to fix and stuff to do.
Like people, like my brother came to work for me, and he didn't know. He's like, "Are we gonna take a break?" I'm like, "What do you mean take a break? Like we just started." Like he's like, "No, we've been working for like 6 hours, 7 hours." I'm like, "Oh, like if I'm going, like I'm going."
Yeah, me too. I'm the same way.
I guess I should probably eat. It's been like 12 hours.
I can sit at a desk for 12, 14 hours. I'm just like in my boxers. Like sometimes one of my guys comes over before he goes to the warehouse and we'll eat breakfast and talk about what we got to do for the day. And then he'll come back on the way back and he's like, "Have you done anything today?" I'm like, "You wouldn't imagine what I got done." I know I'm still in my gym shorts and my hair's not did, but yeah, that's the same way. I can just grind it out.
No, yeah. It's, when I get going, like I'll work. Like I got done. I came home last night with the kids, gave some dinner, and I told my son, he's almost 18. I'm like, "Come on, we got to go to a job." It was like 5, 6 at night. Just go do some stuff. I'm like, I got to get this done. So, it's gonna set me up for tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's the big thing.
And so it's like,
So you feel like you've been going pretty hard lately?
Yeah, I have a lot, and I still have a lot of jobs. I don't know how I'm gonna get them all done. Talking about team, I need more team members, but it's hard to find them sometimes.
But you got to I was like, you got to take care of you, because if you can't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else.
Yeah, and that's why I've been thinking about the balance. I'm like, all right, I'm out of whack. Work's taking a little bit too much. I need to get back in.
What do you think you're gonna do to kind of help you counterbalance it all, man?
Oh man, I don't know yet.
You think it's like a simple tweak, or you think you're like, all right, I'm ready for another big change? Maybe I gotta hire a couple dudes, or
well, that could come too, because the ebbs and flow of the industry is like sometimes you're just swamped and you need guys, and then it'll slow down and you get back down to a couple guys. But for me, I just think a few days here and there, or little tweaks within the day, like spend some more time with the kids, get home and put work away. for a while,
That's my big
and
thing.
unplug.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what happens. Like I'm just, like I said, if I'm sitting around, I feel like, okay, what am I? I'm not doing. I'm supposed to be doing something. What is it that I'm missing? So
I know that feeling. Yeah.
my grandfather's 90 years old. He lives with my mom now, and he's already redone her whole backyard, built like planters, put in a sprinkler system. And I talked to her today. She's like, he's driving me nuts. He's always got projects. He never stops. He's 90, and I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah. No. Do you want to stop?
No.
Yeah.
Like
No, it's an awesome like experience you get to have, and like it's also it is, I think, as a lot of people will kind of look at it as like a weird, I don't know, curse in a weird way. Like I like it because I can always find something to do.
Yeah.
Like always, like there's always a rabbit hole to fall down to fix something in one of my side hustles or my business or whatever, or pick up a new one.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. Like I can't say no when opportunities come. I'm trying to work on picking some things to say no to, because it's like, I can do that. I can do that.
Do you know who Casey Neistat is?
No.
He's like the original YouTube vlogger guy. He's like probably like 40 or 45. He's like the coolest dude in the world. I actually watched a video yesterday where it's like, start saying no. And he has a big, he writes no on his hand. Maybe we'll do, hold your hand up like this. Maybe we get a thumbnail for the video.
No.
Like Casey did. Okay. And, but basically like he talks about the whole video and he's just like, I've been going too hard. He's like, I need to start saying no to people. And like, he's like, there's certain situations you kind of have to say yes to always. Your wife, your kids, those things you have to say yes to. And then there's a kind of like an 80% yes circle, but then there's people that you need to really be okay with just saying no. It doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a bad friend, doesn't make you a bad business owner or whatever, but like, you only get so many hours in the day.
Right.
So you got to make them work.
I've been thinking about that too, evaluating like, okay, where am I putting my time and my resources? Is it in the most? Because I have a hard time saying no. Hey, somebody called me, hey, I need you to do this. Can you do that? I'm like, yeah, I could do it, but then it's pulling me away from maybe a bigger opportunity
cost,
that I push off, and I'm like, okay, I got to start saying no to some things or delegating these lesser things to other guys so I can focus on the bigger things.
It's a constant moving battle, like. Yeah. But I mean, hey, that's what makes people like you or me or anybody like that, like, that's what makes them who they are, and the ability to handle multiple side hustles or multiple businesses at the same time.
I think the average person would crumble under what we deal with on the daily.
Yeah,
I've had guys work for me before that like they kind of get this attitude, and I'm like, all right, you do what I do all day, and come back and talk to me and see how you feel. Do you still want to do it? And most guys are just like, no, I'm good with my paycheck. Thanks.
Yeah, no, yeah, like sometimes like guys don't think like I'll come into the store at like 11. We open at 10. I'll come into the store at like 11 or 12, and they'll be like, oh, must be nice being the boss. Get to come in whenever you want. And I'm like, yo, homie, I've been up since 6:30. I went
to bed at 4.
Yeah, I've ordered 2 months worth of TVs, 2 weeks worth of computers. I've ordered 500 iPads. I'm like, I dealt with all these compliance issues from my freaking 90-day no credit needed program that I love.
Dude, how long did it take us to fix that, bro?
I told
how many Facebook posts, Instagram? You gave me your login so I could go through them all.
Yeah, literally. So Progressive, God bless their hearts, just trying to stay ahead of the curve. Made us
super compliant.
Made us change a lot of things. Which, hey, we're grateful to be in business with a compliant company.
Yes.
But they made us go and change a lot of the wording on our websites and the social media posts that we had, and we used templates for everything. So you basically, literally anything that was on the internet basically was attached, that had this template
just
attached to it.
Yeah.
And like there was like 3 things in this template that were wrong, like words and stuff. And I literally told Progressive, you can drop me as a customer. I'm not going through and doing all of this, because they want us to do it for all of the stores, and it was
for 18 months back.
Yeah, and it was a lot of stuff. And then Ryan goes, "Look, dude, just give me your login. I'll do it." And I was like, "What? I'll do it." And I was like, okay.
"No, but this guy, you were awesome though, because I did a lot of them, but like you were able to get him fixed pretty quick." I was stressed, and I'm like, "How am I going to get him changed? Like, we're losing him. He's gone."
Yeah, no, I was literally, because I wasn't even BSing. I was like, I'm out of here.
You're like, "Hey, the SEMA chick's hitting me up.
Yeah,
she's
no,
hot.
Yeah,
like I don't know what you're going to do."
Yeah, I mean, we didn't close our deal, so no. No, and it's funny. I actually got a compliance check like earlier this week, and there was like 18 or 20 things we had to go through and change, and I was just like,
Again.
but I was like, you know what, like the list, like I knocked off a few of the big ones, and I was like, maybe that'll be enough. Nope, that compliance team is good. They came back, everyone I didn't touch, they were like, you didn't do that. There was like 15, like just real minor, just change this word, change that word, and but like it was so quick and so easy because I kind of have it down to a science now.
Well,
But in 15,
I'm sure you could teach some classes to their employees as well. So I remember we had that conversation where you had to teach the employees on the phone.
I've gotten in arguments
How to
with
fix
some
things.
employees, yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, so what do you feel like's next? You took the COVID punch in the face better than most people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I've been fortunate, yeah.
But you took it. I mean, you got hit though, and you took it in stride. And instead of using the COVID excuse, which I've heard so many people use, every vendor that I work with, if you use the COVID excuse one more time,
That's what everybody does.
I know. But you didn't. You said, all right, time to get to work.
Well, yeah, I mean.
So you did that. You've created multiple streams of income for yourself. I mean, you've done this all while having a family in the middle of a pandemic, all while having a good attitude and growing quite the beard, I may say.
Well, this is small.
I haven't seen you face to face in like 4 or 5 months, and like
If you seen me a few months ago, it was probably about down here. I had to shave it off for a minute.
when I opened the door, I was
You're like, who is that guy?
I almost told you I didn't have any change. You know.
Do I look that?
I'm not used. Well,
You're like, oh, are you here to fix the yard?
right? Yeah. Remember when my dealings with you?
Yeah, I was
are
like
progressive,
buttoned up, shave,
clean cut, yeah,
haircut,
bro.
So when Corona hit, I'm just like, I stopped shaving. I didn't have any hair. You couldn't get a haircut.
Yeah.
So then it just got to a point where I was like, screw it. Like, I'm not going to shave or cut my hair until this is all over, and I'm still waiting. So
I did the same thing, and I don't know if statute limitations are up on haircuts, but I did get a backdoor haircut. I met a guy in the Walgreens parking lot.
Oh.
I got in his car.
No, you didn't.
This is a true story. It's a true story. And then he drove me to his barbershop, and we went in the back door of the barbershop, and he had curtains up in front of the windows, and they'd been cutting hair there the whole time, picking people up all over Henderson.
Did he blindfold you?
No, but that would have been epic. I would have been so down.
Sack over the head?
Yeah, and I really thought I was like doing like a drug deal or something, you know? Like I thought I was doing something wrong, you know? Like
You're like, I want my haircut like this every time.
yeah, no, that would be the experience.
Can you blindfold me next time?
Yeah.
Maybe punch me.
Rough me up a little bit. Yeah, no, but yeah, so you couldn't get a haircut or anything.
Yeah,
right?
so I just let it go, and my wife's not super happy about it, and I should probably cut my hair and shave, but I don't know. I kind of like the freedom, It's like I don't have to put on a.
I like
monkey
the
suit.
look. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
You look.
Now, if I can just get a
less
personal
restricted.
trainer.
Hey, I can help you out with that.
All right.
I know a guy.
All right.
He only charges like $50 an hour.
$50 an hour?
Or he will take trade for work done in his garage to fix his epoxy job. Shout out myself.
I think a new floor might qualify for a year or so worth of training.
We hey, you show up here every day and I'll train you for a year. I know how to make you not show up. So
Yeah. Hey, you'd be surprised.
So rebounded like a champ from COVID. Just doing
Yeah.
all this stuff. Like how do you feel about what's to come? Like where you're going? Like any direct plans? Kind of going with the flow. What are you thinking?
I want to grow in a way that I'm more administrator. That's where I'm trying to get now. I'm really hands-on still, small crews. I'm a lot of times I'm in the trenches with everybody doing everything. And it takes away from the time where you can go out and find more jobs and do more bids. And so that's the balance. And so just putting together a team where I want to grow and just, I'm getting up there in age. I'm still young, but, I'm thinking ahead to where I don't want to kill my body. I want to be able to go out and just find jobs and build something. I want to build something, that I have that's mine. My kids can, if they want to, go in with it and do something with it. But yeah, just I'm not a paycheck type of guy.
Right. No, I mean, building's fun. It's cool to look back and see what you built and you're like, wow.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know what kind of numbers you did with Progressive from the time we started to the time I left, and it's like Wow. I mean, how many times I tell you, like, dude, you need to open a couple more stores.
Teaser. Something's coming. Something.
When is something not coming with you? That's
I know. It's like it's. I was like, you know what? Like having a TV store, having a website, helping kind of manage from time to time the other stores, trading card store, podcast. Why not do what? Why
What's
not
something else?
Yeah, working out a couple hours. Like, let's add some more stuff in.
Well, I was like, when you hit me up for this, I was just like, wow, you're doing something else now? I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not completely surprised. I knew something's always on the back burner, but
I always, sometimes people are like, oh, so like that other thing didn't work out. I'm like, oh no, I'm doing that too.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, again, I can't sit still.
Well, and then there's always, there's probably other things that didn't work out, but you can't.
Oh, there's plenty. You
can't sit on them.
There are plenty of things that didn't work out for the record. Yeah.
I mean, I noticed you had a lot of sheets out in the garage, but
a lot of what?
A lot of sheets. You selling a lot of sheets? No, I'm
sheets.
Kidding. Yeah, bed sheets.
Oh,
sorry, I just watched War Dog, so it was in my head.
Those are from I fun fact. So I sell chairs. I sell high end office chairs.
Oh yeah, I think I tried to sell me one too.
I've tried to sell you everything. But yeah, so we'll do.
Wait, didn't you have some like dishwashers at one point?
So I got dishwashers out of the Cosmopolitan Hotel. It's like these special, super high end little like mini bar.
dishwasher.
Yeah. I was. I bought like 12 of these, right? And I basically broke even because every one that I sold went to the East Coast and I had to ship them on a pallet.
And you didn't include the shipping on there, or what?
Well, to be competitive, I had to do like free shipping, and it's all figured into the cost of the
at
item.
least you broke even.
Yeah, but it was terrible. I was just like, what is everybody in New York? They don't have these in New York?
Apparently not.
Yeah. But anyway, so just talking about like kind of where you're going in the future and.
Yeah. Just want to build. I'm trying to. I've made some good. You make connections with people. You meet people. Opens up more opportunities. Ideally, what would be lovely is I'd like to get a contract with like, a chain of hotels or that you could go through and do their pools.
Shout out hotels and stuff to Ryno Resurfacing?
Ryno Pro Surfacing.
Ryno Pro Surfacing. Sorry, I messed that up.
No, I mean, that would be great because you get a contract and you just go from hotel to hotel.
Do you have like a portfolio or anything like if someone called you, you'd be like, hey, this is I can show you what I've done, or hey, walk over to this property.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's probably the best. Yeah.
I could definitely. I have things, tons of pictures, but yeah, a lot of properties around town. But yeah, I've done some work with the Marriott that I was hoping that we'd get more, but we'll see. You never know.
Yeah, I'm sure budgets.
A lot of those big companies move slow too.
It's like turning a battleship.
They budget for like 5-10 years out, so it's tough sometimes. Yeah. But it's busy.
So are you gonna try to like do like the handyman coding thing kind of like in one, or keep them kind of just as different streams?
No, they're different streams for sure. Because a lot of the times, what I like about the handyman is if you get in with a good property management company, they have so many properties, they just keep you going, keep you feeding. Sure. But again, it's time, right? Where are you going to put your time at? And, that's the hard part. And not being able to say no a lot of times. Stretch yourself a little thin and piss some people off because you might not get the things as fast as they'd like. So I'm trying to be better at that.
It's hard.
When you got like 8 balls in the air you're trying to juggle.
But it's fun to say yes.
It is.
And
you enjoy the challenge.
Yeah, no, yeah. And when I say no, I feel like I'm letting people down and that I'm missing out.
Right.
I'm not the no guy.
No.
I'm the yes guy.
I've missed a few jobs because I didn't get to people fast enough. And I'm just like,
you learn real quick.
Yeah. So the other thing you learn is, like you said, your value, right? I feel like when I first started doing stuff on my own and you're pricing things, it's a lot of bidding, right? So you're like, so nervous, like what if they say no, it's too high, and then you get to a point where I'm like, you know what, this is my price. If you don't like it, then cool, good luck with the next guy.
Yeah, you can go with someone cheaper. It might work out for you.
And usually I tell them like, I'll come back and fix whatever the other guy does, but it's going to cost you double.
I use that line all of the time for stuff that I do.
Well, it's true.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I have also paid people double because I'm like, I'll do it myself. And then I go try to do like epoxy my garage floor, insert pictures here. And, I messed it up and now I got to train Ryan for a full year.
Well, there's always like, there's the cheap price, there's a real expensive price, and there's some in the middle. And the cheap isn't always, it's rarely the best you can get the cheap price, but you're not going to get the quality of what you get what you pay for.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's why I get my TVs at Best Deal in Town.
Heard that. Best deal in town. www.vegashdtv.com. What plug? All right. So what are you doing when you're not working? Because I mean, and I know you're working 24 hours a day.
So what I like to do, I like cars. I like restoring cars. So I recently picked up an old Bronco, so I'm working on putting that back together.
You didn't pick up a new Bronco.
That's on order. I'm waiting for that to come in. Yes,
there was a deposit, right?
Yeah, it was I had to put a big deposit down, $100. Yeah, dude, I just ordered it and went to the factory. I'm waiting for it to get made.
That's awesome.
So when I called the dealer, they're like, hey, it's time to order your Bronco. I was like, sweet. I'm like, okay, so I ordered it. I'm like, well, how much money do I need to give you? Like, nothing, just $100.
Are you like locked into that though, or like how committed is this $100?
No, if it shows up and I don't want it, it's gone. Like I lose $100.
Dang, I should have ordered a Bronco,
dude. That's why I did it. And I'm one of the dealer that I reserved it at. They're getting 100 of them, and I was in the first 100 people to
get
reserve.
Out.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get it. They said this year, so I'm hoping.
I'm
sick. Excited.
That's so sick.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So you picked up an older one though.
So yeah, I have a '69 too that I'm working on. It's a slow process because it takes time and there's so much you can do. And I don't have a lot of time to do it. I like doing things myself. So some things I'll drop off to a mechanic and let him work on it, but I like doing it myself. And then about a month or two ago, my son has a '96 Bronco.
Oh.
I should say. We rolled it coming down a mountain.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, everybody was okay, luckily.
Good.
He was driving.
Point that out, all right.
Yeah, it wasn't me. But we're stripping that down. I picked up a 1990 Bronco that we're going to kind of swap things around.
Were you guys like fooling around or?
No, nothing cool. We were just driving down the road and he didn't brake fast enough on a car that hit that brakes hard, and he tried to swerve around him, and there was a cliff instead of he's like, oh, I'll swerve on the shoulder. Instead, it was like a 12-foot drop off, and we rolled down it.
You guys are okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I mean, my ribs aren't okay still, but everybody else is okay. My son was driving, and my two daughters were in the back, and the dog. But everybody, we were good.
That's all.
Dude, yeah,
that's good.
It was a little scary, but we're good.
That's good. But so fixing cars and
yeah, I like doing that. I used to actually be in shape and run a lot. I did a lot of Ragnars back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love doing those. So I'm hoping to do those. I like to play softball, but that's been shut down. So
well, dude, we should gear up and we should like do like there's tons of like those Spartan races and mud races.
Yeah,
and
I would love to do one.
Dude,
of those.
let's like.
I did the Badass Dash one year.
Ooh, I haven't done that.
It was pretty lame. I stood in line most of the time. And
really?
I wasn't really happy.
I kind of want to do one that's a little bit more hardcore. So you got to sign like a serious release for it.
Yeah, like if you die, they're not liable.
I did one. I think.
What's the one where you run through the electrical things in the
That's
water?
the one I want to do. So I did a
Tough Mudder.
Yeah. And there's one I think that's like they have a competitor that I think slightly harder supposedly.
Spartan.
I think I did like
There's a lot.
I did like a knockoff one and it was terrible.
Yeah.
And we were just waiting in line the whole time.
Yeah, I don't like the waiting in line thing.
Yeah, and it's just you're there to like you kind of train for it and you kind of like think you're gonna do this little race thing and
you're
run
pumped
through.
up.
Yeah, and then there's like 10 people you got to wait to go into an ice cold
like
pit.
there's the fat kid can't get over the wall.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and they're like, sorry, I don't like. I imagine
just push him over.
I imagine now you need like 6 feet of social distancing too.
Forget that.
Well, we should find one. Let's set a date so you kind of have a goal.
If we can make it hard, everybody can wear one of those breathing apparatuses.
Are you going to wear one too, or does that level the playing field out?
No, that I don't have to wear it because I'm fat. You have to wear it. I can barely breathe as it is.
You're a little stuffed up. Little allergies.
Allergies.
It's so cold.
It could be corona. I don't know, but I think it's allergies.
I think you're okay.
Yeah.
The
the nurse gave me the anal swabs.
She gave the anal swabs. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the authentic. We got her straight from the mainland.
Yeah.
Her
Her English is pretty good.
Well, that's fantastic. All right, so getting ready to wrap up here. I got a new little segment thing I want to do. It's real quick. It's real easy. It's just called rap. It's called Real Talk Rapid Fire. I can't even say it right. That's how new it is. All right.
As long as I don't have to rap.
No, you don't have to rap. All right. So I'm just gonna ask you some questions.
Okay.
Most of them are yes or no, or just either or.
Okay.
But it's got to be quick, fast, and concise. No really thinking about it.
Okay. Don't think.
All right.
Got it.
I should cue up some music, but I don't have any music yet. So
Editing.
Insert editing. All right. Ready? Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Triangle or square cut pizza?
Triangle.
What was your first car?
It was an 88 Chevy Silverado.
Ooh. Did you sell your first car or did you wreck your first car?
Both.
Nice.
I wrecked it. I sold it. Then I bought it back. And then I wrecked it.
You bought it back from who?
I sold it to a guy I knew, and then because I went out of the country, and he actually wrecked it, and he's like, "Hey, it's down there. If you want it, you can have it." So I didn't even buy it back. I just fixed it, and I drove it for like 5 more years, and then I totaled it. So
All right, that's cool. Are aliens real?
yes,
Oh yeah, that was the certainty. What's the best city in America?
some small town in Hawaii.
Okay, Logan Paul or Jake Paul?
Neither.
Wow, best podcast you've ever been on?
This one,
Real talk.
Real Talk.
Real
with
talk.
Mason.
Heck yeah. Well, hey Ryan, I appreciate you coming out today, man.
Yeah, man, it's awesome,
dude. Like, and I definitely want you to come back. I want every guest to come back, check in, to see where everything's gone.
For sure. I want to see a lot of episodes and a lot of success over here for everybody.
That we're gonna do. So if people want to get a hold of you, if anyone who's not watching, we're in Vegas. So
yes,
if you need handyman work done in Massachusetts, Ryan's probably not your guy.
Not your guy.
He probably honestly doesn't even know any guys up there.
No.
He has a pretty good network though. So, but if they want to get a hold of you, if they need some work done, is there a number they can call you at, a website, an email?
Yeah, just call me, 702-265-4018. That's it, man.
Cool. I'll make sure to put that in the description.
Mason,
it'll be popping up. And I mean, he does any sort of handyman work you need done, from basic painting and locks and
I can do most things, and if I can, I could turn you on to somebody else.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's helping out.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys heard it here. I mean, just regular people doing real stuff and real stuff, real talk, and not making real excuses. Just really doing it.
Just make it happen.
Heck yeah, man. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everyone for sticking around for our super long form podcast. Luckily, we have a good conversationalist, and with that, we're gonna roll you back out. If I can learn how to use my soundboard again, and. Yeah, guys, we will see you soon. Maybe.